दिल का दरिया बह ही गया, राहों में यूं जो तू मिल गया। मुश्किल से मैं संभला था, टूट गया हूँ फिर एक दफा। बात बिगड़ी है इस कदर, दिल है टूटा, टूटे हैं हम। तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे एक भी दम। तुझे कितना चाहे और हम, तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे एक भी दम। तुझे कितना चाहे और हम, तेरे साथ हो जाएंगे खत्म। तुझे कितना चाहे और हम। इस जगह आ गए चाहते अब मेरी, छीन लूँगा तुझे सारी दुनिया से ही। तेरे इश्क पे हाँ हक मेरा ही तो है, कह दिया है ये मैंने मेरे रब से भी। जिस रास्ते तू ना मिले उस पे न हो मेरे कदम। तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे एक भी दम। तुझे कितना चाहे और हम, तेरे साथ हो जाएंगे खत्म। तुझे कितना चाहे और हम, तुझे कितना चाहे और हम। थैंक यू सो मच गाइस, थैंक यू।
Hello, hello. Restart. Homegrown alligator, navigator. Homegrown alligator, navigator, the road, gonna hit the road. Something changed in the atmosphere, architecture unfamiliar. I can get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun, underneath the home sun, underneath the home sun. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. South of the equator, navigator, gonna hit the road, gonna hit the road. Deep sea diving round the clock, bikini bottom, lots of dogs. I can get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We got two in the front, two in the back, saying along, and we don't look back, back, back. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone, 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 someone.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I request all the participants, delegates, resource persons, staff members and students kindly report in quadrangle as we are about to begin our panel discussion in some time. Thank you.
Check, check, check.
Hello, hello. Check, check.
Check, check. Check, check.
Check, 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 check. Check, check.
Check, 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 check.
Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check.
Check, check.
Chill, 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 ka, til, 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 til. കണ്ണത്തിൽ മുത്തമിട്ടാൾ നീ, കണ്ണത്തിൽ മുത്തമിട്ടാൾ. നെഞ്ചിൽ ചിൽ 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 കാതിൽ തിൽ 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 തിൽ. കണ്ണത്തിൽ മുത്തമിട്ടാൾ നീ, കണ്ണത്തിൽ മുത്തമിട്ടാൾ.
ഒരു
கிள்ளாதிரு
ஏதோ சுகம் உள்ளூரதே ஏனோ மனம் தள்ளாடுதே
விரல்கள் தொடவா
விரும்பி பிறவா
மார்போடு கண்கள் மூடவா
சூரியனோ சந்திரனோ யாரிவனோ சட்டன சொல்லு சேர பாண்டிய சூரனம் இவனோ சொல்லு சொல்லு சட்டன சொல் சூரியனோ சந்திரனோ யாரிவனோ சட்டன சொல்லு சேர பாண்டிய சூரனம் இவனோ சொல்லு சொல்லு சட்டன சொல் பாரடி பாரடி யாரடி இவனோ பைகிற சிறுதை காரடி இவனோ கூரடி கூரடி யாரடி இவனோ ஏகலி பட்டன சுந்தர பல்லேலக்கா பல்லேலக்கா சீரத்திற்க மதரிக்க மன்றசுக்க தீரிச்சிக்க தீருத்தடிக்க
நல்லி தெளிக்கும் ரோடு சடுகட 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 முக்காலா முக்காபலா லலா ஓ லலா முக்காபலா சுபானல்லா லலா ஓ லலா லலா. Thank you.
Thank you.
Check, check. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, can we have a big round of applause for our musical team? Isn't it they performed really well? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants, a very warm welcome to the panel discussion session of this prestigious international conference. It is an absolute pleasure and honor to have each and every one of you here today, joining us from different corners of the world. This conference brings together brilliant minds, innovators, researchers, and industry leaders who are at the forefront of their respective fields. We are gathered here to engage in meaningful discussions, exchange ideas, and explore solutions to the most pressing challenges of our time. The panel discussion session serves as a platform for intellectual discourse where experts from diverse backgrounds will share their valuable insights, experiences, and expertise. Our esteemed panelists represent a wide range of disciplines, bringing a wealth of knowledge and perspectives to the table. Once again, a warm welcome to the panel discussion session of this international conference. May our deliberations be enlightening, inspiring, and pave the way for transformative breakthroughs. Now I would like to call upon stage Ms. Tejaswini from Department of Management to introduce the moderator. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our esteemed moderator for today's panel discussion at this prestigious international conference. With a wealth of experience and expertise in education industry, Mr. Swaminathan is an influential figure who has made significant contributions. Dr. Swaminathan is an accomplished scholar and academician with a rich academic background and extensive qualifications. With a profound dedication to the field of commerce and a thirst for knowledge, Dr. Swaminathan has achieved remarkable milestones throughout his educational journey. He completed his Bachelor of Commerce degree from Vijaya College in 2009, followed by a Master of Commerce from Bangalore University in 2011. Demonstrating his exceptional aptitude and commitment to research, he successfully cleared the National Eligibility Test and Junior Research Fellowship conducted by the University Grants Commission in 2011. Driven by his position and passion for continuous learning, Dr. Swaminathan pursued several postgraduate programs to enhance his expertise. He obtained postgraduate diplomas in financial management, business administration, and marketing management from Karnataka State Open University in 2012, 13, and 14 respectively. In 2016 and 17, he successfully completed the Karnataka State Eligibility Test. Recognizing the importance of management education, Dr. Swaminathan pursued a Master of Business Administration degree from Karnataka State Open University, which he completed in 2021. Additionally, he accomplished the significant feat of obtained a PhD from Bangalore University in the same year, solidifying his position as a leading scholar in his field. His research interests are centered around the adaptability and accessibility of multifarious e-payment channels and their impact on the unorganized sector in Bangalore city. This focus demonstrates his commitment to exploring contemporary issues and their implications for commerce and society. Dr. Swaminathan's achievements extend beyond academia, as he has been recognized with prestigious awards for his research and scholarly contributions. Notably, he received the Manubai Shah Gold Medal Award from the Indian Commerce Association in Jharkhand for his empirical study on the role of green credit and its impact on industrialization in select industries in Bangalore city. With his vast knowledge, extensive qualification, and commitment to research and education, Dr. Swaminath continues to make significant contribution to the field of commerce. His passion for learning, teaching, and exploring innovative ideas positions him as a respected authority and an inspiring mentor for future generations of commerce professionals. So without further ado, let us warmly welcome our esteemed moderator, Mr. Swaminathan, who will skillfully navigate us through this captivating journey of knowledge, collaboration, and discovery. Please join me in giving a round of applause to welcome Swaminathan to the stage.
A very warm welcome to you, sir. I request you to come on dais and introduce the remaining panel for the day. Thank you.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Elrigu namaskara. It's my privilege to be a part of this event just because the panel is so vibrant that we have people who are having a rich experience with reference to technical field and who are having entrepreneur and also who is also into a share market. Likewise, we have a vibrant panel. So and it's my privilege that I'm introducing them. So first of all, I would like to take the chance to introduce Professor R.S. Deshpande, sir. He's currently a honorary visiting professor, Institute for Social and Economic Change, ICCTCM, Bangalore. Was formerly Rajiv Gandhi National Fellow, Indian Council of Social Sciences Research, ICCCTCM, and before that, the Director of ICCTCM. Dr. Deshpande holds a Bachelor of Science and Master degree with a PhD in Economics. Initially, he worked as a faculty member at ICCTCM till 1988, and thereafter shifted to Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, GIPE, Pune, as a reader in economics. At GIPE, he worked as a registrar of institute. In 1988, he returned to ICCTCM to join as a professor and head of Agriculture Development and Rural Transformation Center. At ADRTC, he steered the mega study on farmer at the millennium and completed many research studies. He was a continuous policy supporting academician to both Government of Karnataka and Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. His specializations include agricultural development policy, watershed development, political economy of agrarian changes, WTO, agriculture and trade, rural policy, poverty, economics of drought-prone areas and rain-fed regions, economics of irrigation, economics of caste, policy analysis and applied econometrics. Professor Deshpande is a recipient of PNASF Gold Medal for his contribution to the agriculture policy and Sir M. Vishwesvaraya Global Leadership Award in Karnataka for excellence in education. He was the sole architect of Karnataka's Agriculture Policy 2006 and chairperson of Mission Group on Agriculture and Rural Development of Government of Karnataka. He was among the first two awardees as Fellow of Indian Society of Agricultural Economics, along with Professor Y.K. Alag in 2011. Professor Deshpande received a Lifetime Achievement Award from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, where he was educated. He was a member of search committees for the Vice Chancellors of 5 universities and directors for ICSSR institutions. Professor Deshpande was the president of Indian Society of Agricultural Economics Platinum Jubilee Conference held at Punjab Agriculture University. She has authored 17 books, more than 110 research papers at international level. He was invited as visiting professors at the University of Ottawa, Canada, Saskatchewan, so Institute of Policy Planning, Regina, University of Paris, France, Lund University, Sweden. He worked as a consultant to a few organizations that include the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, Land Equity Australia, etc. On behalf of the college and conference facilitators, we welcome you, sir. Please come on the dais.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Thank you, sir. So we have with us another distinguished intellectual, C.A. Rudramurthy BV, is a chartered accountant and a holder of 5 master degree in the area of finance and control. He is the founder director of Vachana Investments Private Limited, who are the direct members of National Stock Exchange and depository participants of the CDSL. He is a qualified technical analyst who holds a CFT Level 1 degree from IFTA USA. His quotes on markets are regularly referred by Wall Street Post, Money Control, Reuters Poll, Bloomberg Wire, Economic Times, Business Today, and many more. He comes often in CNBC TV 18, ET Now, TV9, and many more channels as guest speaker expressing his views on investment and financial areas. He has been honored with Nadaprabhu Kempegowda Award, Karnataka Ratna Award for his services and contributions in the field of investments. He has also been awarded as Business Excellence in Wealth Creation by Economic Times for 2020, and the only Indian who was awarded as one of the world's top 5 traders by Online Trading Summit 2019. On behalf of college and conference facilitators, we welcome you, sir. Please come on the dais. Can I please call Brother Peter to welcome the guest? Brother Peter, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. The next distinguished delegate for the session is Mr. Pankaj, who is a passionate entrepreneur interested to work in the space of education and invest in the young minds of the country. Prior to his entrepreneurship journey, he backs an experience of handling institutional portfolios in the stock market. He is currently a co-founder of Seminar Room, an edtech business that creates webinars based on the academic material that students are currently studying. To help students to understand the value of studying a given subject and to realize the prospects and applications related to each subject, they bring in an achiever for each subject they are studying. On behalf of the college and conference facilitators, we welcome you, sir. Please come on the dais. I request principal to accompany. Thank you, sir. So next distinguished professor is Mr. Anjan Babu, who is a chartered accountant, is a founding partner at Agraga, a firm specializing in valuations, transaction advisory, financial due diligences, and virtual chief financial officer services. His working intent, along with his 4 partners, is to set up one of the largest global professional consulting franchises having an Indian origin. Anjan is a chartered accountant from ICAI. He is an IBBI registered valuer for securities and financial assets and holds a diploma in Information Systems Audit, ICAI. He is passionate about teaching and serves a visiting faculty member from time to time at a few reputed commerce degree colleges in Bangalore. He is also a regular public speaker, faculty member at various reputed professional institutions like Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Company Secretary of India, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India, Bangalore Valuers Association, among others. He has a wide array of experience in various disciplines, including valuations, assurance, direct and indirect taxation, international taxation, financial modeling, enterprise financial management, information system audits, company law, sell-side investment representations, and so on. He has also, during the course of his practice, worked with multiple industries, which include construction and civil engineering, healthcare, animation, software consultancy, software products, and SaaS, edtech, social enterprises, non-profits, interior design, travel, and so on. On behalf of the college and conference facilitators, we welcome you, sir. We have panel members here who are having, enough amount of expertise in terms of deliberating the issues, prospects with reference to ESG. I hope the sessions will be fruitful to you. Maybe another 90 minutes of time. We'll have a lot of discussions with reference to the topic ESG, and hope at the end, so the audience will going to have their own questions. We're going to clarify their doubts as well. Okay. So let's start with the panel discussion. Hello? 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 Am I audible? Okay. So I think I'm audible, right? Okay. The current topic is completely on ESG. So where we all know that earlier we used to just concentrate on profit maximization with reference to companies. But right now company means it's not only profit, it's something else, wherein which we have to create a value to our stakeholders. In this regard, so I have few questions with reference to ESG, which I'll be like asking each and every panels. So, and they're going to have their opinion, or they're going to stress their point with reference to the concept. Okay. So now, let me ask Professor Deshpande, sir. In the modern landscape, business landscape, every organization, one or the other day, will reach...
Slightly hold the mic away.
Okay, fine. Sir, in modern business landscape, every organization, one or the other day, will fall into triple bottom line reporting. So triple bottom line reporting is more of concentrating on people, profit, and planet. Now, my question to you, sir, is that how a company has to sustain in the modern VUCA world. VUCA world, we say like volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So we are just surrounded by that word. So how exactly a company has to sustain profit as well as purpose? Purpose. Yes, sir.
Good. I'm finding myself in a very different group, but then I have the habit of trading into areas which I hardly have sailed any time. Commerce is an area where I have not sailed. So all these words which Dr. Swaminathan has said, that these are Greek and Latin for me, however. I'm not the one who would allow things to go down. First thing is that I started with physics in my graduation as an honors student, went to economics, taught programming, got into development economics, and then agriculture economics, which I never learnt in my life. So commerce should not be a difficult thing. Right. Now you said that there are 3 bottom lines. Can you just repeat?
So people, profit and planet.
People, profit and planning. And I look at it from that is 3 P's. I look at it from the point of view of the central theme that is given here called sustainability. Now all these things, people, profit and planning, has to focus on sustainability of that industry, if I am not wrong. And sustainability, though the concept came from abroad for us through Brundtland Commission, here in commerce, when we are dealing with profit, sustainability has 3 connotations. The first connotation is constant real returns. Constant real returns over time. Second, increasing real returns over time. And third one, which need to be avoided, is decreasing real returns. Now, how one gets into it? It is something like a profit function. And profit function operates. Being an economist, I have brought in profit function in here. Profit function operates with all these 3 components, but beyond that, it operates on the ecology of the business. And ecology of the business, it involves people, it involves planning, and it involves the targeted profit that they have. Now when coming to sustainability, if the profit has to be sustained over time, and what is it? That I don't know, somebody would have talked about Brundtland Commission, etc. I would not. I would go back to J.C. Kumarappa. J.C. Kumarappa was Mahatma Gandhi's right-hand man, and in 1949, J.C. Kumarappa wrote a very wonderful book called Economics of Permanence. Economics of permanence is nothing but how one have sustainable growth, which means in real terms, that is adjusting to the changes. And this is something which goes beyond what we understand today as sustainable profit. Now, when we are accommodating people and when we are accommodating planning, planning has to come before people, because planning is basically an economics concept, wherein we have our goals decided, we have our resources decided, and the resources can be generated. Goals also can be altered. When we are generating the resources, we have to generate, keeping in view the goals, and among the resources, one of the important resources is people. Putting a square peg into a round hole will not help. Exactly the type of people who really would like to contribute, would contribute positively. And therefore, when we think of a profit function, people, or what you call it as workers, the marginal productivity contributed by the workers should always be positive is one aspect. But it's not simply being positive. It needs to be incremental or increasing at an increasing rate. It cannot be increasing at a constant rate, and if it is increasing at a constant rate, the profits are likely to fall and sustainability will come into peril. Therefore, what the planning has to have, number 1, allocating the resources to 3 components in any industry. And I am taking a very generalized example of an industry. 3 components. Number 1, the people and their skills. Skill enhancement including. Second, the raw material and the finding the raw material, locating the raw material and the cost of the raw material. And third, the market and negotiating with the market. Now, in all these 3, planning has to be keeping in view, if we take a 3 by 3 matrix, then keeping in view the diagonal elements, leaving the diagonal elements, the two upper triangle and lower triangle elements have to be matched. And that's the planning. Therefore, when you said 3 P's, the planning comes as first, people comes as next, and then the profit, only if the profit function generates positive coefficients, in the sense that marginal value productivity of each of the components participating in the profit function is not only positive but also increasing at increasing rate, and that will ensure sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My next question will be to Mr. Pankaj Mehta. Sir, the culture of sustainable practices should be inculcated well in advance in the young minds. In this regard, so I would like to know how best universities and the colleges affiliated to it can give a practical outlook of ESG, that is environment, social and governance factors to them. That is my question, sir.
Hello. All right. So I'll just make this a little interactive, right? So how many students know what does ESG stand for? Did anybody read the topic before coming in today? Right? All right. So without wasting too much time, I'm just going to tell you some very important elements. So E stands for environment, right? Now what does environment stand for? Some of the ways that you can save the environment. How can you save the environment? By not polluting, not dumping garbage to water, right? So environmental as a factor, these are some of the important elements that you need to know as students of the best practices to save the environment. Coming to the second pillar, which is the social pillar, right? Now social pillar is ensuring that the quality of your product is right. You're treating your employees right, right? So can anybody tell me, there was this classic case about a couple of years back where one of the most popular companies where most of us consume this on a daily basis came under the radar of bad practice in the food product. Can anybody tell me? Superb, right? So social factor of Nestle having lead in Maggie was one of the factors that you know of what S stands for. Finally, coming to the last part, which is the governance, right? Now, governance is all about keeping cordial relations with your stakeholders, with your senior management, with your investors, with your employees, right? Now, can you tell me one classic case? This was one of the biggest companies in India, had a classic case of social falter. Can anybody recognize? Satyam Computers is more of a financial scam. In terms of a social I wouldn't say scam, but a lot of hype. I'll give you the company if you can identify the name. Tata. Do you remember who was the chairman of Tata? Not Air India. Okay, so the answer is Cyrus Mistry, right? Of how not able to keep up with your investors or stakeholders of the business, how it impacted Tata in a long way, right? Now, environment is the only thing that we missed out an example. Can anybody give me a classic case of environmental issue that you heard of? Right? I'm sure so many mining companies that you've heard of, or Vedantu as a very popular company, in the news you would have read of, right? They were dumping a lot of, they're a mining company, so they were dumping a lot of their waste into the waters that was affecting the lives of the people. Coming to the important part of the question that has been asked, that how do we inculcate the habit of ESG among students? What I want to tell you is that ESG as of today has a very, very large potential, right? And the importance of ESG is coming into the picture and picking up pace is something that a lot of students should look into, right? There's a great career aspect to it. Coming to the institution side of how can somebody implement or how can we inculcate the habit of ESG amongst ourselves, right? So even as college or academic institutions, accreditation bodies have a criteria in terms of a green audit, right? Does anybody know what does a green audit mean? Or anybody, any faculties that led into a green audit? This is one of the accreditation body criterias.
I request faculties also to participate, please.
All right. I mean, just to keep the interest of time. So green audit is an initiative by the accreditation bodies of all the practices that a college utilizes to save energy or create a positive impact in the environment, right? Something as simple as waste management, something as simple as having solar panels to generate electricity. These are some of the practices, and the NAC has 100 points. So basically 10% of the accreditation is towards green audit. So ESG is not something that only companies need to practice. It is something that is implemented in everybody's life. I'm sure a lot of us stay in apartments or stay in societies, right? And we would have the kind of things that we do in ECG over there is we have different garbage boxes for plastic or food waste, right? So the thing that I want to bring to your notice is that ESG is a great career. There are a lot of things that you can do. It is not at all related to, you need to be technically advanced. You can do sustainable packaging, and a lot of such factors can really inculcate these habits and help you become better individuals. So I think that's my take.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you. My next question will be to Mr. Anjan Babu. Sir, companies are moving towards a new theme called ESG. At the current instance, a layman may not be able to understand how corporate social responsibility activities are contributing to the general public. In this regard, so can you throw some light on how practically a company should choose activities to reach a layman and project the idea that they are creating a societal wealth benefiting all?
Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. So, Dr. Swami, a very brilliant question. So it's a question that's very close to my heart. That is, how can India adapt towards all of these things, right? Indian businesses. So the thing is, Indian businesses have its own way of doing things. So by a raise of hand, how many of you here like benne masala dosa? Excellent. Then this example will really hit you home. Yesterday I was going near Chickpet area. One particular shop is there where he cuts a Nandini ghee packet. He puts the dosa and he, from a very almost 10 feet distance, he sprays the ghee on the dosa. Right? I mean, the taste of the dosa wouldn't change in any way if he puts it like this, or he does it from 10 feet before. Now, a Western business, when it comes up with an innovative idea to attract customers like this, what it does, it goes and patents it. But if you go to the Chickpet lane, 10 other restaurants have come up who have done the same thing. So there is an Indianness in Indian business practices. And that's why the ESG practices that come into play should be very much Indian. So now again, by raise of hands, let us say I have given you, I'll take a page out of the populist politicians example, right? Everyone gets 1 lakh rupees in their bank account. Okay? You all are happy? Yes or no? Yes. But as usual with any government scheme, conditions apply. Okay, condition is you have to invest this 1 lakh. Mandatorily invest in 1 lakh. So, I will give you options. If you want to invest in this business, you have to raise your arm, on your right arm, and say yes. If you don't want to invest, raise your left arm and say no. Okay? There is a business that is making excellent profits. 20% year-on-year return it is giving you, but it is leaving its chemical effluents in the Kaveri River. Do you want to invest in this business? Yes or no? Yes or no? You have to say, not just raise your arm. Yes means right hand, no means left hand. No, okay. Right? What is the thing here? It's an Indianness. Kaveri River is important to us. Chemical effluents are a real problem for us. So the ESG problem that is there in India, or the ESG adoptions that is there in India, are very geography specific, very people specific. If you go to Jharkhand, for them, inhaling the emissions that is coming out of mining activities, it's called as the silica. The silica, it goes 0.02 nanometer, goes and settles in their lungs. That is their issue. We don't have that issue, right? So the CSR activities that are being framed by companies have to have this thought process in mind when it comes to Indianness. And the only way out of this is to come up with a taxonomy plan similar to how European Union has come up with. So the taxonomy plan will tell the company, this is what an Indian requirement is. This is what the people of India need out of you as an ESG activity. Today, a broad policy framework is present in the Indian Companies Act under Section 135, talking about corporate social responsibility. But it is not popular. It is not investor-facing. It is not consumer-facing. So if the policy is made in such a way, in consultation with the corporates, and bring in a sense of Indianness into this, that is where I think we will be able to do something about ESG in India today.
That's nice, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. My next question will be to Rudramurthy, sir. It is basically my personal question also. As a retail investor, I look at the market as eighth wonder because I don't know what exactly happening there. Because I'm a layman, basically. So because I do, as a layman, I can say, or I can say like this, as a teacher, I do a lot of fundamental analysis, technical analysis, industrial analysis, economic analysis. But sadly, the big investor will drive away the market just like that. Or market will be influenced by shock waves such as sensitive news or information. So which are clearly not at all understood by me or by anybody for that matter. So in this regard, I would like to ask you with reference to ESG-based stocks, how exactly it can enhance the value for a retail investor or to a layman like me?
Yeah, good evening, friends. How many of you here understand that yes, ESG is so important to make money both in terms of business and also for you to benefit and become rich? And even he was asking me question on stock market where how do we invest in companies which follow ESG and is it beneficial? How many of you understand that yes, through this we can make lot of wealth? And how many of you here are interested to make money? How many of you are interested to make money? Put your hand up. Great. Now listen very carefully. I was observing both Pankaj as well as Anjan, and I could only realize one thing. See how they are making audience attentive. Anjan was saying, raise your right hand if it is yes, raise your left hand if it is no. So these are secrets what some speakers have to make audience active, and I'm sure the faculty here is learning how Anjan did it. Only thing is he did magic, but you never knew how he did magic. I am revealing Anjan secrets behind magic. And even I could see Pankaj. Immediately he made the session interactive where he was saying like, how many of you here students know about what is ESG? Do you know what is the full form? Very, very simple. He is trying to hook you people straight with a question and making you participate. A big round of applause to both of them. Yeah. Now the reason why I told you this is, I don't want to use the same secrets. I will do something else, try to identify it. Now getting back, a person went to Bill Gates and told, making money is nonsense. And he said, what is the use of all that money you make? When you don't have spirituality, when you don't have good wife, love, affection, and you don't believe in God, what is the use of all the money what you have made? A saint went to Bill Gates and told, making money is nonsense. Bill Gates just replied, you make enough money before talking such nonsense. And let me tell you, spirituality is not scarcity. Spirituality is abundance. And you know what we people think? We think it is health or wealth. We think it is wife or mother. But it is not that way. It is health and wealth. It is wife and mother. You know why am I talking this? It is not profit or ESG. It is profit and ESG. So we people think that if we follow these ESG rules, it is against profit. Let me tell you, short term, yes, ESG may not give you that profits. But on a longer run, when I invest in companies, I see only two things. And before I tell you these secrets, let me tell you, I did my CA because someone told me if you become chartered accountant, you can make a lot of money. Then after becoming a chartered accountant, I realized to make a lot of money, you have to go to stock market. But what to do? By then I had already completed CA. And let me tell you, 95% people lose money in stock market. And just now my friend Swaminathan was telling, retail people don't get this kind of information. There is a lot of operator in market. Let me tell you, for every operator, there is another operator. And you can't try to find out that, oh, money is made by these operators like Harshad Mehta, Rakesh Junjunwala, Ketan Parekh, all that. But let me tell you, all these people were very, very intelligent, shrewd, and their success was all because of three factors. Number one, mehnat. These people were very hard-working people. I have never seen a single person successful in this world without mehnat. That is hard work. Let it be any field. Whatever field in life you want to take it up and tell me that anyone has he succeeded without hard work. There is no substitution. So mehnat is number one. Number two, niyat. Integrity is very, very important. However skillful you are, however intelligent you are, but if you don't have integrity, you can't succeed in life. So mehnat, niyat. Niyat is integrity. Third most important thing along with mehnat and niyat, you also need Bhagavan ka krupa. That is where I say God's grace is needed. Whether you call Jesus, you call Father, Mother, you call Ayyappa, you call Rama, you call Shiva, you call Venkateshwara, or you call Allah, I don't know. But there is one eternal power which is there. And if you have niyat and mehnat, na, Bhagavan ka krupa aata hai. So that will be the third factor. Now what I want to tell you to his question, being in market now for 21 years, and I came to stock market only to make highest money in this world, and if you survive in any field for 2 decades, you will prosper in that field. So have the attitude of never give up. Why am I telling, na, even if you are married to someone for 2 decades, you have no option to change. You have to continue. So businesses today also, I say, on a long run, they can grow and prosper if they follow this ESG matrix. In fact, when Pankaj explained so well what is ESG, and even when Anjan gave examples of that dosa where you put it out from 10 feet and you get all those stuff, he was talking about ESG as a matrix. And let me tell you, Boston Consultancy Group, BCG, they have done a survey, and this survey shows companies which follow ESG matrix, they make 10% higher return compared to companies which don't follow this ESG matrix. And getting back straight, again answering his point, in stock market you want to make money, you have to invest in businesses which has point number 1, profitability, and point number 2, scalability. I can show you businesses which are not profitable, but they are only scalable. And I can show you businesses which are scalable, but not profitable. But if a business can be both profitable and scalable, then yes, these are companies where I will invest. For a simple reason, always stock prices are slaves of earnings. Companies where you have good earnings, if not today, stock price has to go up eventually. And if you want businesses to have both profitability in the long run, and you also want scalability, For this, ESG matrix will provide long-term profitability and scalability, which comes because you will also get sustainability. Now people are very clever. Customers will never buy those products. For example, when my friend Pankaj told Maggie has lead, were you interested to buy Maggie and eat Maggie because it has lead in it? No. But now if company follows that I will be environmental friendly, then will you be interested to buy or use those products? How many of you will be interested? You will be interested to buy those products? Definitely yes. Will you buy products which are not environmental friendly? Will you buy it as a customer? Tell me yes, no. So if it is no, then what happens is those businesses will not have great revenue. And when you don't have great earnings, definitely your stock prices will not move. Now tell me, if I ask you a question, paint means which company do you remember? Paint. Asian Paint. So that's the great stock to buy. If I ask you, for example, can you think about day-to-day articles, what you use, like your shampoos, your hair oil, all that? Which company do you remember? Huh? He is saying here, HUL, Dabur. Now, I don't know, let me also ask you a question. When we ask about, let us say, hotels, which hotel do you remember? Yeah? Taj, great. When I ask you for using adhesive, which adhesive do you remember? Fevicol, Pidilite. Pidilite is the company, Fevicol is the brand. Now by buying these companies, do I have a sustainable long-term profit? And will these companies give great earnings? And will I make money by investing in these stocks? Answer is definitely yes. For this you don't need any operator, you only need a basic sound knowledge. And with that, if someone invests, long-term wealth is always built. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think all the 4 panel members have casted their opinion with reference to the topic, as I made it interdisciplinary with reference to ESG and their area of expertise. Now, I have few questions which are on discussion mode, where any one of you can answer the questions. These questions are framed by referring to various scholar articles and opinions given by various stalwarts. These questions are quite tricky because there are chances that you might going to say yes or you might going to say no. So I want you to give your opinion and also the public to participate in it. So my first area of discussion or a question is, we have this like in the name of ESG, are we going back from chemical to organic production, more production to natural production, less MRP to higher MRP? In the sense, are we compromising the quality in the name of higher prices? This is my question. Sir, anyone can answer. Sir. I'll get your mic. Yes.
Because this is something which was quite disturbing. I was not able to hear the moderator here within a distance of 3 feet. Exactly. Environmental degradation is that. I'm sure, because I'm 100% sure that my voice without but then somehow the answer is prepared to say no, because I have controlled a parade of 1,800 candidates at a distance exactly that. And even now, I can do it at this age. I am the eldest here in the entire audience, reaching 75. I'm sure, sir. Except one. You are 75 plus? Okay, the question that you asked, which I couldn't hear, is one thing is MRP. We have a craze coming from Western. Everything comes from the West. That is, we used to have organic production and largely organic products used in our house, in the farms, everywhere. We changed to inorganics after the Green Revolution. Also, artificial ingredients which came from the West. Now, they understood that use of plastics is bad. We never had plastic. We copied the plastic, and when they say use of plastic is bad, we say it is bad. When they say organic is good, we say it is good till the time. And even today, if I say pizza is bad, no, sir, pizza is good. Day after tomorrow, when they say pizza is bad, we say pizza is bad. The central line of this is something which we copy. We do not make ourselves. And that is exactly the crux of sustainability. What is sustainability? It is any production process has two outcomes. One is positive externality, which helps you. One is intended outcome. And then there is the externalities. A positive externality and a negative externality which impacts. Like plastics spoil the environment. Now, how do we convert the negative externality into positive externality? Use plastics, make tar out of it, make the road, which the earlier airport road, which is made out of the tar prepared from plastic. All that plastic has gone into it. But then, making hue and cry about plastic is not. What is required, the example which you gave about mining, what is required is to collecting the outcome, the affluents, collecting the affluents and making positive use of it. For that we need a technology, not crying. We need a technology to convert it. From the Green Revolution, we learned one thing. We are using more nitrogen in the soil. And this is spoiling the green gas environment. Now, for that, what is required? The natural nitrogen giving ingredients are important. And what are those? Humus. The farmyard manure is the best supply of nitrogen. But then we followed urea, and there are number of urea factories, and urea sells it. The second question is MRP. The first thing is, none of us understand what is exactly MRP means. It's maximum retail price. It is not the retail price. It's not the retail price. The MRP is not the retail price. It is below that, can be negotiated and got into. Therefore, what is price? Price gets decided by, number one, scarcity is the determinant. Number two, access is the determinant. Number three, the demand is the determinant. Number four, the snob effect, or what is called Werther effect in economics. That is determinant. Which phone I should buy? Nokia? No. i10 or whatever it is. The newest one, Apple. I should buy that quality. And that's a snob effect. So price is decided not simply by MRP, but by four components, namely the scarcity, 2, the snob effect, 3, the demand, 4, the accessibility and availability.
Thank you, sir. With that question only, leading to it, so what is your opinion with reference to organic shops? Now they are charging high prices by naming it as organic, even though it is considered to be a normal production. How exactly it will contribute to ESG as we talk about?
Somehow I'm not greatly fan of mic. I get stuck. One hand gets stuck, the other hand gets stuck. We talk of organic. Okay, what is the fertilizer consumption of India? India's fertilizer consumption is 95 kilograms, on an average, 95 kilograms per hectare. 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. And when you say 95 kilograms, it comes to 95 grams per square meter. Per square meter, 95 grams. How much is 95 grams? This much? 95 grams is this much? This much. Because you buy gold 10 grams. So maximum is this much. Now, what is the per square meter? Per square meter is almost 3 feet by 3 feet, 3 and odd. Now, within this soil and 6-inch depth, 95 grams, does it make the soil totally inorganic? But wait, there are regions like Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, some part of Karnataka where the fertilizer use is about 200 kgs. And yes, these regions have to be careful. But then, calling every product in India is inorganic or based on the fertilizers is not very correct. Mangoes. The other day somebody said, we have organic mangoes. Mango tree grows without any fertilizers. Entire mango plantations I have seen from my childhood onwards, they grow without any fertilizers, without any pesticides. But then for ripening, you powder it in order to get ripened. And there the inorganic comes in.
Thank you, sir. The other question, which I again got through various means, so just wanted to ask this to other panel members. What are all the opportunities and risks after adapting an ESG strategy to a company? Does it lead to more innovation without any boundaries, or it lead to innovations with boundaries? No problem, sir. Any order is fine. Yes.
So the question is whether ESG will bring in boundaries to companies, especially in innovation.
Yeah. Why? Because when we talk about experiments lead to wastage. But
Yeah.
ESG says you have to reduce the wastage.
Yeah.
So am I like, as a company, am I operating within the boundaries?
Yeah.
Or beyond the boundaries?
Understood. So two specific examples I would like to use. Okay. The first one, maybe some of the mischievous boys will have their ears open now. It's about a beer company. Okay. So I think some of the faculty members are scolding me, why is he bringing up beer and alcohol now? Right? So there is this company called AB InBev, right? It manufactures this beer brand called Bud Light. Bud Light is a famous beer brand in the US. Now, what happened is, let us understand this ESG ecosystem very well, okay? When I said, if chemical effluents are left in the river, you don't want to invest in that company, yes, you agreed. Let us say a real estate developer setting up apartments on lake beds, you don't want to invest in that company, right? So you have made your intentions clear into what kind of companies you want to invest in, correct? So when such intentions are clear, three people are there in the ecosystem. One is people like you and me who have money, want to invest in good companies that are environmentally friendly. Second are fund managers. Fund managers, to make it more relatable, you can say mutual funds. You understand mutual funds, right? Yes? So mutual funds. So third are the companies. So when I as an investor or you as a student or faculty, you do not have time to invest, you go and park your money with the mutual fund saying that they have an ESG fund, correct? Mutual fund takes in your money and starts identifying companies which are ESG friendly, right? Now, there are certain very good mutual funds who want to do things out of their genuine heart. But ESG is becoming a trend, so everyone labels themselves as ESG fund. So they will take everyone's money. And again, relating a little bit to your previous question, is there a higher cost involved with ESG? What we call as premium, ESG has a greenium, a premium for green, right? So there's a greenium or greenian, whatever. So you take your money, you invest with the mutual fund. Mutual fund fellow doesn't know what is your view on ESG. They don't know whether you want to take care of affluents. They don't know whether you want to take care of companies that are friendly in terms of rainforest protection. They want to define what ESG is for them. So coming back to that beer company, InBev, there is this fund management company called BlackRock, which is one of the largest ESG funds in the world. They manage about $3.6 trillion of wealth only in ESG, right? BlackRock is an investor in InBev, right? Now, what happened over here? BlackRock took almost 20% position in InBev. That is 20% stake in InBev. Now, the company has to listen to InBev, right? Because if they tomorrow decide to sell the shares, the shareholder wealth will be eroded. 20% immediate exit is going to erode. So InBev has to listen. So InBev, what it did, it just made, and for your information, Bud Light has been there from more than 100 years. It just made one single Instagram post, InBev. What did they do? The beer can was promoted by a person of LGBTI background. They promoted it. But I am talking a little controversial, but this is the reality. But the people who are the core customer base of Bud Light are not necessarily agreeing with the stance of LGBT people. So in a single day, because of just one Instagram post, coming from the position of ESG, that is social, we need to promote LGBT, right? That is the thing. So BlackRock made InBev make an Instagram post promoting LGBT using their product. Within one day, 24% prices went down. 30% of their market share in beer went down. Today, people are shunning Bud Light just because they associated themselves with this, right? This is one of the things we have to be very careful of. That is why I earlier said we should make policies which are Indian. If we allow such kind of fund managers to dictate such policies because they have the money, we are going to lose a lot of India of Bharat, right? So, and the second point, semiconductor industry, that is chip making, chips that go into your smartphones and laptops, right? They take one wafer of a chip manufacturing, takes 6,700 liters of pure water. To make pure water, you need 20,000 liters of regular water. So, as a policy maker, I should have that sense of clarity. Am I putting ESG on semiconductor industry and making sure that they are not progressing while countries like China or even the United States or even the European Union, they don't care about water wastage. They're going to proceed ahead in chip development while India is going to be almost 75 years behind chip development. Are we going to be that kind of a country, or are we going to have a sense of clarity on what ESG stands for us? For us, I'm pretty sure implementing public transport, ensuring builders don't build on lake beds is very much an ESG priority for us. But ESG priority should not be to hinder development in such strategic industries. Because if Taiwan is invaded by China tomorrow, how will you get semiconductors? How will you get chips for India? Are you going to negotiate with China at 70, 80% higher premiums just to get your smartphones? So these are the underlyings of ESG in corporate India today. These are the things we need to be careful of.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the insight. Now, my next question is with reference to accounting integrity and transparency. Companies are pouring a lot of funds on their R&D and creating an effective and efficient production line, minimizing pollution. But we find a contradictory picture of the world listing highest polluted cities, namely even Bengaluru is in the list. So why such contradictions? Who is responsible for this? Any one of you can answer.
So, just answering that question is one of the biggest questions is what is the most popular EV brand that we know? EV bike? Ather, right? Now, Ather typically should fall under the ECG bracket, right? Because they're saving the environment, so much pollution is getting saved. But do we know what is the environmental impact of creating one battery, right? So this is going to be a common question, right? That the cost of the impact of creating one battery versus the pollution that is being saved by the production is something that we have to take into consideration, right? So it can never be that, you've spent so much money, it's going to cause you a loss. But if you have an environmental profitability, so I'd like to give another example. Havells as one of the companies, and I was just reading before I was coming. So Dow Jones has a sustainability index, right? And Havells recently got introduced into that index. And the reason why it got introduced is because it made investments into 2 renewable power plants. So today it's going to cost that company a lot of money to set it up. But 7 years, 8 years down the line, when it breaks even and starts profiting from the electricity, so that's what, right? So every business has a break-even point of the expense it makes. So ECG is also, is the way that people have to do a right analysis. People are just going to say that, yeah, they've spent so much money, they don't know what has happened, but they don't see that 8 years down the line, this is going to have a positive impact. So we should always look back in the books and understand what is the vision of the company before making such allegations.
Okay, sir. And the final question which I have to Rudramurthy sir is more focus on ESG-based stocks doesn't guarantee the strong stock market performance and individual rate of returns. Will that be true? What's your take on this?
Great, thank you so much. And I have 3 small stories to also say. And first I will start with a story of a student, and he was asked a question, write short notes on cow. So he has to now write short notes on cow, and but he had not prepared at all on cow. He had actually prepared it on some other topic. But students are so clever, any topic they prepare, finally they will bring it back to cow. So actually what happened here was, I will tell you why I am giving this example, and then I will get back to the question also. So this student has prepared short notes on cow. In exam something came. So he started writing so many things, and then he will bring it back to cow, and finally he will say cow is an animal which gives you milk, cow has 4 legs, blah, blah, blah. So the question was on donkey. He will still say there was a donkey seeing cow. Cow is an animal with 4 legs, cow is white, cow gives milk. If the topic is aeroplane, he will say there was an aeroplane flying on the sky. Cow saw the aeroplane. Cow is an animal with 4 legs, it is white, it will give milk. Let us say the question is on petrol. Then this fellow will say, cow was feeling very cold. So cow saw one AC which was working hot, which was using petrol, and there was a bike which was there standing in front of cow using petrol. Cow is a domestic animal, it has 4 legs, it is white, it will give milk. You know why I told this? Any question let the moderator ask, we people will take to the cow. How many of you understood what I told? Okay, this is another secret which I just revealed it so open. So question doesn't matter. Now getting back, I really want to answer his question in terms of if we invest in companies which are CSG compliant, do we make money out of it or do we lose money? What is your take? My answer is very clear. Wealth is always created on a long run. It is not created on a short run. And let me tell you, the number one reason why people don't make money is no one wants to become rich slowly. Everyone wants to become rich fast, so no one makes money. In fact, Warren Buffett was once asked a question by Jeff Bezos. He asked Warren Buffett, why people are not rich like you? Buffett told, it is very simple. No one wants to make money slowly, so they don't become rich. Warren Buffett has taken 90 years to make $100 billion, but people want to do it in 90 days. When Warren Buffett took 90 years to make that money, is it possible for me to do it or you to do it in 90 days? Yes, no. No. So now you have to understand, wealth is always created in long run. People who want to make money quick and fast will never make money. They will lose. And if you want to make money in stock market in a long run, focus on companies which are ESG compliant, because they are looking at all the three aspects of environment, social, as well as your governance part. And let me tell you, these are non-profit matrix which will give you profit. If you follow this non-profit matrix, then you will get profit. And I am of a very strong opinion, companies which follow ESG matrix, they will always make more earning. And stock prices being slaves of earning, eventually you will also make money as an investor when you invest in companies which follow ESG matrix. And just a last story from my side before we can conclude. And since this is the last question, I am giving you this story. In fact, when we came here, we were all there with Subbarao sir, who is the principal, and the time was somewhere at around 2:30. They were all asking, I think Deshpande sir also told we have to start in time, it is getting late, all that stuff. I immediately told, sir, when I was a student, no doubt even today I am a student, but I am taking 20 years back, when I was a student, for us, these type of programs or something like this, discussions and all were very difficult to even get it. In today's world, students coming to regular class itself is very difficult. Imagine them coming to these type of programs. So I said, forget starting in time. If we can have the program with students sitting rather than only 4 of us discussing, it is a great achievement, I told. How many of you agree with me? Yeah, you want to have a round of applause? Yeah, for it. And I also told, yeah, I'll just take it. Yeah, I also told, now we have so many faculties also here. You know what happens? Faculty, you think, in fact, my friend Pankaj was not even knowing, he was addressing only students. Then in between when Swaminathan spoke, he got to understand, oh, even faculties are there on the left-hand side. And then Swaminathan started asking questions, keeping in mind both, even faculties can answer. But students is one story. You know what is faculty story? They all come to this international conference because they are so happy that they are away from their college. And they have a time and trip for Bengaluru if they are coming from outside. And they also have a great occasion to see Lal Bagh, Kabban Park and Vidhan Saudha. And more than that, even they enjoy an environment outside. To hold this entire crowd, we have to adjust to this crowd than we expecting something to come. In fact, Pankaj was also telling Rudra, you know, today I do a lot of online programs where we try to bridge the education gap with that of industry. But he says when speakers come, students hardly attend the program. He says there is a lot of drop in the online program. But to hold students with you when you speak or when you have some content delivery, along with content, context is also very, very important. If content is the king, context is the kings of king. And I always say, only context without content is also of no use. So don't now come to a conclusion that we have great context. Content is very bad, still he can be a great speaker. No. So you should have content, you should have context. And let me end with this small story. There was a professor who is doctorate and who is chartered accountant, ICWA, company secretary, master degree, PhD. He was very, very well-known professor. And he was asked, at Harvard University to give a talk. So this professor was going to Harvard University. He had a 2-hour lecture to be given. And when he was going in his car, his driver was there. He saw the mirror and the boss sitting backside, the professor, he was not feeling well, comfortable. So the driver asked him, "Sir, what is your problem?" So this professor told what to do. "I'm feeling very tired. I've given so many lectures and all, but still I'm not happy today. I have some headache, fever is there, I'm feeling tired." Then the driver says, "Sir, don't worry, sir. Today your speech I will give." This fellow says, "What, you can give my speech? You know, it is a Harvard University where there are thousands of people sitting. You have scholars, you have CAs, you have PhDs, you have teachers, you have students. They are all so clever and well-known people. How can you go and do my talk?" The driver says, "Sir, 200 speech of yours I have heard. Same thing you talk everywhere. I have memorized it completely, sir. Whatever you speak, I can redo that without any chit and all. I have memorized it fully, sir. Don't worry, sir. Trust me, I will give your speech." So finally what happens? The professor says, "Okay, let me see." Both will exchange the dress. So the driver will give his cap and the white dress to the professor. Professor will give his suit, tie, blazer, everything to the driver. Both will exchange the dress. Now the driver starts talking at Harvard University and he gives a 2-hour speech. The 2-hour speech was so fantastic. It was so beautiful. Everyone stands up and they give a standing ovation to the speech. Then finally what happens? It was about to get over. The program was about to get over. This fellow does one mistake. He says, "Do you have any questions?" Gone. So after giving a 2-hour speech, this fellow asked, "Do you have any question?" Finally what happened? One fellow, some Sardarji, he stood up from one place. He said, "Yes, sir, I have a question." So what is your question? Sardarji says, "Sir, you spoke about heteroscedasticity test. As per augmented Dickey-Fuller time series evaluation, whenever price and demand has an inverse correlation, supply will be a factor which will always act against the heteroscedasticity. And if you do F test for the same at 95% significance level, the law of demand does not work even inversely for the same. And because of augmented Dickey-Fuller test, supply factor will go inversely proportionate to that of demand. What do you say, sir?" This fellow, "Abba, question over." Now he says, "You are asking me such a simple question. The question is so simple what you are asking me. I don't want to answer. Let my driver sitting in the last bench answer." So the professor will be sitting in the last bench as the driver, na? That fellow will stand up and he will answer. And this fellow manages even that question. How many of you understood what I told first of all? Yes? So teaching is all about managing things. I don't have my driver sitting in the last bench here, but I can also tell you, cow story you understood. Any question you ask, you will be brought back to cow. And you also understood today how people here make you interactive by asking questions, taking you there. I even told, try to find out what trick I am using to catch you people. Can you tell me what is the trick I have used? Anyone? Huh? Yeah? Give them all a big round of applause, please. Yes? So they understood. Through telling story, you can catch the crowd in your hand. And also, my friend Pankaj told me, he said, "Rudra, even humor is very important, which you use when you talk. And that is also one more skill needed for public speaking." So all these are context. But the content what we give is also more important. You can't have only context without content. But only content if you have without context. That will also not make any use. But whatever I have now told is only 1, 2, 3 point. Whole day I can talk only about how to hold the crowd and context part of it. But keeping that all aside, this wonderful opportunity what the whole Francis College, the whole management team and the support given by students as well as faculty people here, has been really great, and you all identified my technique or secret here. What I used was story, but let me tell you, how many of you know Buddha, Gautam Buddha? You all know, right? Buddha used to use stories to hold people in his hand. And he never told, this is my secret. And that's the reason why he was so popular. So when you perform magic, you should not tell to crowd what is the secret behind magic. Then no one will watch the magic. And Buddha, a person came to Buddha and told that my son is now no more. She had no children for last 20 years of her married life. And finally she got a child, and that child died within 6 months. She became insane. She was carrying the child in her hand and roaming around, and she was not ready to give the child for burial. And then someone told, the king came, he said, I'll give half of my kingdom if you can help my wife get all right. And finally someone told, go to Buddha, he will help you. So Buddha asked this woman, what is your problem? She says, my son is alive, these people are all telling he is no more. Buddha said, no, no, your son is alive. Don't worry, I will give life to your son. She became so happy. And finally Buddha told, get me some sesame, or you call it as pepper in another just easy word. I'm just telling it's not pepper, but I'm just telling you. So get me this from a house where there is no death. She says, so easy, I will get it, don't worry. She goes to next house. Can I get from you that sesame? And if you don't have death in your house, give it to me. No, no, my grandfather died. One more house, grandmother died. One more house, someone died. So finally she could not get it at all. She comes to Buddha and says, sorry, I couldn't get. And now Buddha says, this is the fact in every house. You have only got your son died a bit early. Realize the fact of life, give it for burial. Then finally she gives it for burial, and she becomes normal, and she starts preaching throughout the country on what is real and what you should do. So what was Buddha doing here to play his magic? He was telling story. But Buddha never told, my secret of life to hold people was story. And people like me who read so much about Buddha and so many more great orators, then I realized there is some secret behind these people which I am making you people to learn. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for Francis College and to the entire team for giving this great opportunity, and really privileged to be part of this institute. And one ESG problem I saw was echo, which was coming because of the big auditorium, and I can still tell, irrespective of all this, you people have sat here, and even if one great input if you have got today in your head, that is worth all the time what you have spent. And thanks to Almighty, Niyat, Mehnat and Bhagwan ka Krupa, if you have these three things, you will succeed in life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that interdisciplinary outlook which you have given on the subject. Yes. So, almost like 70 to 80 minutes we have discussed more on ESG, so the in and out of ESG, how exactly things can be shaped with the help of ESG. I hope like all of you have got fruitful results with reference to the session. Out of the summary, what I wanted to conclude out of those 4 panelists and their opinions, ESG not only helps businesses by attracting more diverse workforce to bring new ideas, but it also helps businesses have a greater positive impact in our world. Companies with ESG are more aligned to reduce the climate change efforts or global warming effects. Businesses are looking for shared values and creating a societal wealth, positive corporate changes, and more responsibility towards society at large. So the changes are happening right now in all the companies, and finally we are having employee engagement for a longer period of time in order to get a sustainable results for our future or for our country. So with this, I would like to conclude. The ESG with reference to the topic designed by the college is very well contemporary and the panelists have given their opinions with reference to ESG concept. So now, okay. Now I request management, committee members, and all the other staff to come on the stage for a photo, please, with the panelist. Now I request the management to honor the panelist as a token of honor. Just a moment.
Professor Deshpande, thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. I request the management, principal, sir, to give token of appreciation from St. Francis institutions. CA Rudramurthy, in spite of his busy schedule, he took time and he actually has a lot of programs to do, and he was busy with his Chennai program also. Even after that, he accepted our invitation, and I request our director to give token of appreciation from St. Francis institutions. CA Anjan Babu, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. I request Brother Peter to give token of appreciation to our beloved panelist. Next, young entrepreneur Pankaj Mehta. I request our registrar of evaluation. I request Lokesha sir to give token of appreciation to Pankaj Mehta. And the moderator of the day, Dr. Swaminathan. Thank you so much, sir. You have accepted our invitation. I request our principal, sir, to give the token of appreciation of St. Francis institutions. Thank you all. Thank you for accepting our invitation. A huge round of applause for them. Thank you so much. Let us have a group photo. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So in a couple of minutes, we'll start the validity session, the last leg of our international conference, ICCTCM 2023. We need your cooperation. Next 2 minutes, we'll start validity session. Thank you so much.